welcome to the Positively Pebbles podcast, the companion to my Positively Pebbles newsletter, looking to put more positivity, joy, and good news out into the world. Well, Sunday's newsletter, it started with a quote from Sojourner Truth that said, "I will not allow the light of my life to be determined by the darkness around me." And it was a reminder that we cannot let the negativity around us steal our joy. And believe me, I know that it's easier said than done, but lately I really have been thinking a lot about this. I think like many of us, I have a really tough time when I see horrible things happening to other people, injustices being carried out in our country and around the world. And I know there will be people listening who will be like, oh, here we go again. Everything's political. And honestly, I really wish that wasn't the case. I wish things didn't have to be so political, but they are. And we're being forced to face things that are happening politically. It's either that or we turn a blind eye. And I personally just don't think that I can do that. Well, last week was a particularly tough week for me for some reason. I mean, I know the reason. It's the world. Anyway, I think really that it was just like the buildup of what's been happening over the past few months, or actually like the past year. And it finally just got the best of me and my body, my mind, my spirit, like everything just felt broken. And because of that, I actually spent most of the past weekend in my bed. I mean, I'd get up, go get something to eat or drink, and maybe move to the couch. But I spent a lot of time in bed. And as much as I hate to admit it, I just feel like the world just kind of stole my joy for some time. But honestly, I needed that time in bed, binging my comfort K-dramas, taking naps, ordering food because I didn't feel like cooking. And it definitely helped. But I also know I can't, unfortunately, live my life in bed, and that life is meant to actually be lived. So Sunday's newsletter was about leaning into joy during tough times. And it really seemed to resonate with a lot of people because I got several messages and emails about it. People are really struggling. Life is hard. The cold and the darkness of winter feels really heavy, and we could all just use some light. Lightness in the day, lightness in our spirits. And the first, the lightness in the day, we don't really have much control over that. But the lightness in our spirits, we actually can work on that one. And as I mentioned in the newsletter, there is science behind this as well. There was an article that I read on Psychology Today's website that said even brief moments of joy can signal safety to our nervous system, offering comfort and helping us take a breath when it feels like we've been holding it forever. And it feels really hard to be happy, quote unquote, be happy or experience joy when we're struggling. But I wonder if part of the problem is the way that we frame and define joy and happiness. I know a lot of times we see it, as the huge moments, the trips, the celebrations, the major accomplishments. And that's great. I mean, we should find joy in those things. But we should also be seeking out the simple, daily, maybe consider them boring joys in life as well. And I think a big part of that is by simply slowing down. And if I had to guess, I would say that we have lots of daily joys, but because our brains have become so wired for scrolling, we don't really take the time to stop and recognize those moments. We don't sit in that moment, appreciate it, and really just kind of let that joy and happiness wash over us. I think we can all look in the camera rolls on our phones to see how many joyful moments we actually have. We just need to stop long enough to feel the happiness that it gives us. And I'll give you the pictures in my phone as an example, some of them. Pictures I've taken, maybe screenshots, photos that friends have sent me. So many of them have just made me smile, tear up, laugh out loud. For example, just looking through, I have pictures of dogs in Disneyland wearing mouse ears, and it's so cute. My pumpkin Zola holding her Miss Rachel doll while watching Miss Rachel. I have a picture from my nephew's basketball game, a rock that I found on the ground that was in the shape of a heart, snow on the branches outside of my bedroom window, and of course, the 7 gazillion photos I have of BTS. All of these moments and people made me stop and think about the beauty, the hope, and the happiness in the world. And I think where there's room for improvement is really in just slowing down and appreciating the moments and returning to them when we need them. Don't let joy be fleeting and be gone. Enjoy it, savor it, embrace it. One more thing before I go, I really want to give you some good news, and I want to tell you about this TikTok video. I'm like telling everybody I can about this because I love it. It was a TikTok video that I saw, and I think it's such a great idea and one that just could bring you one of those joyful moments that we've been talking about. So the guy in the video was telling the story of how he was in a coffee shop and was watching a couple women who were obviously friends kind of catching up. But they weren't just there to talk and drink coffee. They were also sitting there coloring. He said it was really just such this beautiful, wholesome moment to see these friends chatting, drinking coffee, and relaxing with coloring books and the 64-count Crayola set. I loved this so much, and I've actually already talked to some of my friends about doing it as well. And it's such a great example of leaning into joy during the tough times, like really just softening time together, even while discussing hard times. I really do feel like we need more of that, and I personally am so here for it. Thank you so much for joining me for Positively Pebbles. And until next time, trust that even a little joy still matters.